Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am here to bring you a TED Talk with your boys, Quinn Hughes and Stephen Sheridan.
Whoa! Thank you.
Whoa!
From early humans experimenting with fire, to later more advanced countries using oil, to modern countries shifting to renewable energy sources, humans have always used some form of energy to power their civilizations. Up until the Industrial Revolution in the mid-1700s and 1800s, we had used biomass as our primary source of energy. With machines, assembly lines, and trains needing more power to run, coal began to replace biomass. In 1859, Edwin Drake drilled the first oil well, which set the stage for the expansion of the use of petroleum, the development of the automobile, and the widespread usage of fossil fuels as primary energy source used around the world.
So, with the use of fossil fuels, there are going to be many pros and cons. Fossil fuels are decomposed dead plant and animal matter that existed on Earth hundreds of millions of years ago.
Fossil fuels.
They are obtained in many different ways, and there are three main types of fossil fuels. There are coal, oil, and natural gases. So coal is a carbon-based black rock that can be burned for energy, and this is extracted to the surface using mining. Oil is a liquid that can be refined into a number of other types of fuels, such as diesel and airplane fuel. This is obtained through offshore oil rigs and oil derrick pumps on land. The third type, natural gases, which are made up of various different gases, such as ethane and nitrogen and carbon dioxide that are trapped inside the Earth's crust. These are captured by vibrating the ground and using a pump to separate the gases on site. So you may be asking us, what are those pros?
I don't know.
So, first one, there are lots available. Fossil fuels are everywhere, alright? They are in vast amounts below and above the surface of the Earth. However, eventually, continued usage and extraction will terminate the availability. They also occur in mass quantities, audience. Fossil fuels occur in large veins, so once they are found, that area can be mined for materials for a while before the resources are eventually dried up. This perk makes fossil fuels a lot easier to find. As well as pros, they're gonna be cons. So, what are the cons? Con number one, pollution. Con. The burning of fossil fuels releases carbon dioxide into the air, leading to problems like global warming. Con number two, reserves. Since lots of coal and oil is needed every day, they need a place to be stored, and truckloads or trainloads are shipped and delivered every day, causing even more pollution and increasing the expense. Pollution, con. Expense increase, con.
In the U.S., petroleum is the most used fossil fuel, while natural gas comes second and coal comes third in usage. In the world, oil takes the lead as the most used fossil fuel, with coal second and natural gas third. The U.S. is the world's second energy consumer in the world, only to China. Nuclear power in the U.S. is at 8.4% right now, and renewable provides 8% of energy for the U.S. For the renewable power that the U.S. uses, 30% is from hydroelectric, 49% is from biomass, 15% is from wind, 3% is from solar, and 3% is from geothermal. Fossil fuels will probably stay prevalent in American energy production for the next decade, and yeah.
So, audience, you might be asking yourself, what's good with this generation of electricity?
What's good with this generation of electricity?
Exactly,
Good
audience
question.
member. That's a great question. I'll be happy to answer it. So, what is good with this generation of electricity is something called cogeneration. This is where excess heat from power plants is captured and used to heat nearby workplaces and homes. This can double the efficiency of power plants and make the energy and the fossil fuels more efficient.
Yeah. Next, we got the sources of fossil fuels.
Fossil fuels.
Oil sands are layers of sand saturated with bitumen, are tar sands that are strip mined. The liquid deposits are mixed with hot water to separate the bitumen from the sand, giving oil. Mining is the extraction of fossil fuels, and it impacts local communities in a disproportionately high way, but it also damages local ecosystems in ways that impact our biodiversity more widely and our planet's ability to protect itself from the effects of climate change, an issue perpetrated from the use of fossil fuels.
Con.
Alright, y'all, we're here to welcome Steve and Mike.
Woo!
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Stephen
I'll
Maik.
tell y'all about fossil fuels and what's going to happen if we continue our ways. See, many geologists think that we're going to use many forms of fossil fuel. We have reached peak supply of crude oil, and demand continues to increase in developing countries such as China.
There are many ways that individual homeowners can make their homes more efficient. You can do this by adding more and better insulation, installing renewable energy sources, and using LED light bulbs as opposed to inefficient incandescent bulbs.
We recommend uses of solar panels or even pavilions outside the home.
Once again, good evening.
Good evening.
Let me tell you all about the alternatives of fossil fuels.
Alternatives.
Solar panels are a great one. Today they're extremely cheap, more energy efficient, and they're easy to install. Solar panels are predicted to improve even more over the next decade, and what makes solar panels so inexpensive and flexible are that they are made out of common salt rather than silicon.
What? No way, Jimmy. You hear that?
Wind. Wind is a very good alternative source of fossil fuels.
Yeah.
Wind power is clean and renewable source of energy that is almost always available.
Always.
There are wind turbines being developed that can be mounted
Wind turbines.
up without any towers. There are also devices being developed
No
that
towers.
can stay low and catch low winds, or mounted on a balloon. Some really good alternatives for fossil fuels are also power from tides,
Tides.
geothermal energy,
Geothermal.
and power from humans. And what I mean by that is, I heard of this great presentation that was conducted where they talked about pavilions. That's a great example.
I love pavilions.
Alright.
Can you do a 3, 2, 1?
3, 2, 1.
All right. Good evening. That is all we have. We would like to thank Quinn Hughes, Stephen Sheridan, and myself, of course, for a phenomenal TED Talks.
Yeah, woo!
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I hope you guys enjoyed.
I love you
I
guys.
hope you guys learned
Thank
a lot.
I love energy.
Have a wonderful night.
Fossil fuels suck.
That's right.